Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. Well, good evening, guys. Good evening. My first one today. I've been doing many today, so I thought to myself, well, I only got one tonight, so, and that was Warren. So I thought, well, let's get on with it, and then I can have the rest of the night off. So anyway, I, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. So what do you want to do? The trouble is, what I want to talk about tonight. We've had all our children and everything. We have had Adam Moore, and the trouble is, what do you want your daughters to become in the future?
It's a good question. I'm going to ask a clarifying question, though. Do you mean in terms of their personalities or do you mean in terms of their professions?
Good question. Now you're giving it back to me, and that wasn't prepared for. So I tell you what, it's good. That's a good question because we don't know, do we? And it's a question that I've been asking for a long time to with different people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we cannot make our children be like, I don't know, a policeman, say, or
Not a
a
chance. No.
football player, or a football player.
Yeah.
I can't imagine I can't remember. I can't imagine that. Your daughters becoming football players. They
It's
might come
highly
wrestling,
unlikely.
they might come wrestlers, but
Mm-hmm.
there you go. But the trouble is, we can't plan for the future, and it's only them who can plan it. And also if they want to become somebody,
Yeah.
then I reckon we should allow them to become what they want to.
I agree. I agree. So if I were going to answer the latter part in terms of professions, I would say that I'm largely indifferent to it as long as it's something that can provide for them and it's something they're passionate about. Uh, I spent a number of years doing things that I was passionate about and gradually lost that passion and moved on to other things that I was passionate about
Yeah.
and find myself in situations where I love my work and it's not something that I do because I have to do it. It's something because I want to do it. I come and sit at my computer and do my these things, like whether it's talking to you or whether it's a podcast or other things, because I love to do it. I'm really, really passionate about it. And it provides for my
Mm.
family. So it meets both of those things. There are a lot of people that I speak to that hate their work and they only do it because they want to they're trying to provide for their family. And
Yeah.
I think that there are so many opportunities out there now for kids. Um, the the digitalization of everything has made it possible to take anything you're passionate about and turn it into a profession.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah,
access to everything too, right? So there's
yeah,
access to education on just about any topic you could want, free education on just about any topic you could want.
yeah, yeah.
Not that I'm devaluing universities or colleges or anything like that, but I think you can get the education now without having to pay, in the United States, $200,000 to go to a college. Um, and
Was
in terms of,
is that
yeah, go ahead.
is that what? Sorry, is that the cost to go to college?
In the U.S., yeah, to a higher tier college, yeah, you're 200,000 US for a 4-year degree.
Gosh, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit cheaper in Canada. You're probably, from a tuition perspective, you're looking at about ten to $12,000 Canadian, but then housing expenses, residency or food, all that kind of thing, you're looking at somewhere around $30,000 a year for university. So
Mhm.
$120,000, right?
Yeah.
Which in terms of pounds is about 80,000 pounds, right? It's a
Do
very
you think?
expensive
Do,
thing to do.
do you think then? Do you think because it's expensive? Now the trouble is, when I was at school, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't learn hardly anything that is about life. About life. You know what I mean?
Mm,
We could go to school. we could go maths, do English,
Yeah.
and we do everything else. But you know, what if we learn? And we come out of school and we're thinking, oh my goodness, what are we going to do about this? And
Yeah.
do you get what I'm trying to say? There's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you know.
I would say that my university degree probably played a very large role in my early career success.
Right.
Um, I had a very multidisciplinary education, and I would hope that my kids do the same thing to help them uncover what it is they're passionate about. Because I think
Mm.
without doing that, it's very difficult to know all the different areas that you can be passionate about.
Oh
And
yeah.
for me, that gave me the ability to talk to people about just about any topic. I had taken economics courses, I had taken sociology courses, political science courses, geography courses, earth and ocean sciences, historical economics, English, all these different things that allowed me, no matter who I was talking to be able to communicate with them and
Yeah.
have an interest in a subject. And
Yeah.
that made me a very good salesperson, right? It
Right.
it
Okay.
it meant that I could have a connection with people very quickly, which was my profession was sales. So that worked really well for me in terms of broadening my knowledge base. In terms of what I think for my kids, like a question I get asked a lot is, do I want my kids to go to university?
Do
And I
you?
debate
Do
it,
you?
honestly. I debate it.
Yeah.
I think for one or two of them, I think definitely I would like them to push to go to university. For one of them, though, I don't think it would be the right place for her. I think that she would really struggle. I don't think she would get much out of it. I think she's much better off going the route of, I don't want to say the school of hard knocks, but you know, hands-on experience doing things. I think that's the only way
Yeah.
she's going to be able to do it, is she has to learn from doing rather than from somebody, speaking
Yeah.
at
Like
her.
work experience. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she'll have to uncover her path by trying and failing, or trying and disliking, or that kind of thing. Whereas the other two might be able to be a little bit more experiential through other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but if I were going to answer your other question in terms of what do I want them to become in the future from a personality perspective, I have a much clearer understanding of what I value as personality traits in them, and what I try to foster in them, so that they become really valuable members of society.
Now, over in your world in Toronto, there was a young girl called Sam. I can't remember what her name, and she went to university.
Mm-hmm.
She went. She got her degrees and everything. And the trouble is, none of it worked for her. None of
Yeah.
it kind of. She came out and she thought, no, I'm not going to. But when she was a little girl, she she started kind of like selling lemonade. You probably know this story, probably. And she started selling lemonade, and then the her little business that grew and grew and grew and grew.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she had around, I don't know, she had about a few $1,000s and everything. And she said to her dad one day, she said, I'm going to be like you. I'm going to be like you. And she kept on saying that. And then he
Mm-hmm.
turned around and said, what do you mean by that? He said, because you have got a business and you work for yourself, I'm going to do that with
Mm-hmm.
my 2,000 books or whatever it was.
Yep.
And now she is a multi-millionaire,
Mm-hmm.
and she said school, college or anything like that didn't help her.
Yeah.
What did help her was hard knocks. It's
Yeah.
learning from ground level.
Yep. Yeah. And it's a really good, it's a good story for kids to hear, that school
Mm,
isn't, university and stuff isn't for everybody. Um, but fostering an entrepreneurial spirit is, right. So allowing your children the opportunity to work hard, to earn a living from their own labor, that kind of thing,
Mm.
to become creative, inventive, a problem solver. Those are traits that we need to foster in our kids. Critical
Yeah.
thinking is
Yeah.
massive. That's what we talk about all the time at my kids' school is, how do we foster critical thinking skills in our kids so that they can solve problems on the fly, be able to deal with social problems, be able to deal with issues around supply and demand and all these little things around
Mm.
them,
Mm.
so that they're able to come up with solutions and create a better situation through all of that. So
Yeah.
that's, if we can do that, I think we set our kids up for a real step ahead.
Are you afraid of the future for your children?
Oh, now you're asking the really hard questions, hey? Uh, yes and no. And I know that's a cop out answer, but I am horribly afraid of things like climate change and the effect it's going to have on populations around the world, and wealth disparity and social unrest and all that kind of stuff that is becoming much more prevalent.
Right.
I think if we have food shortages and droughts and rising sea levels and all that kind of stuff, you get populations that are completely disenfranchised moving to areas where populations have been relatively successful. Canada is a great example of that. And you have an overburden on resources, whether those be social resources like our social safety net, whether they be physical resources like land and lumber and food, all that kind of stuff, and economic resources. It's just
Yeah.
that that is very scary. Am I concerned about their ability to handle that and their ability to meet partners, fall in love, those sorts of things? No. I think my girls will be well off. I more worry about my grandkids and that sort of stuff, where I don't have the ability to, have my finger on how they interact with the world, or what the world's going to be like in 60 years. We have no
Mm.
idea. That makes
No,
me
it does.
nervous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good
Yeah.
question and a hard
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. That's okay. Do not worry. Do not worry. Um. Okay. So we got some questions coming through.
Sure.
Hi, Steve. What did you do? What did you do for your exams? God, I think I got. If it's in English, I'd never, because if I know some of you are from the United States tonight, but if it's English, I did around about like I think 6 exams and stuff like that, and but none of them kind of like really helped me in a way. So, but that's me. That's me. But for some people it has, and some people it does. Do you need to go to school? Of course you do. Yes, I say that to everybody. I
Yeah.
think you got to learn. I think you got to learn, even if it's like when you go to primary school. That's the most important thing in your life. It's because you're starting to write, get to learn, and meet other children. So that's very important. But I think what you need to do is, I think we need to kind of like look at the education, and we need to look at the education more and see what they're teaching our children. Is it the
Yeah.
right things or the wrong things?
Yeah, it needs to, the education system needs to change from its very antiquated structure. It is, our current education system was built to create factory workers, right? It's rote memorization,
Yeah, yeah,
repetitive
yeah.
tasks, doing something
Totally
over
agree.
and over again. It's from the industrial revolution kind
Yeah,
of thing. What we need
yeah,
to do is critical thinking, fostering creativity, problem solving, those sorts of things. That's what the is valuable for the child of the future.
yeah, yeah. Um, Hi, Steve. Can I ask you the question? What you just asked Warren? What the future? Because Gosh, the future. Well, my children are all grown up now, so they've had their children and everything. Am I scared about what's going to happen? Of course I am. Every parent will kind of like, get nervous about it. But the trouble is, um, it's a song in it, and it's called One Step at a Time. And the trouble is, that's all we can do. We can kind of nurture and tell them what to do, but at the end of the day, they're grown up and they're looking after themselves. So you know, let them get on with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm really scared. It's like Warren, you said about you're scared about the future and everything. Because we don't know what's going to happen in the future, do we?
Mm-hmm. Well, and all we hear about is all the scary stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what sells newspapers. So that's what we're hearing about. I mean, there are some incredible things happening at the same time, from technological advancements in human health, in travel, in energy efficiency, and in all these sorts of things that in food production that make all of our concerns about all the things that could go wrong, have the potential to negate it. But we don't think about that. We think about just
Yeah.
what if none of that happens and all the bad things happen? What if all the really
Yeah.
good things happen and vertical agriculture takes off and water capture from air from air molecules takes off and all these sorts of things that can mitigate droughts and can solve food production issues and space travel and all. Like there's a myriad of incredible things that are coming up that will give our kids opportunities that we never had. Just like today, we have opportunities that our parents never had. So
Yeah. 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 Steve. I hear that you practice Christianity. Can you tell me um, about your opinion on the future? Um, I haven't got opinion really. I think I've got faith and I believe in the faith, but I don't kind of like say it very much on here. But the trouble is, so what you've got to realize is that you respect it. The future, I think faith can cover anything. It's like believing in your football team that is going to win next season's cup, say, or believing in your child that she's going to kind of like get over that line or something, do the marathon or whatever it is. You know, um, that's about faith. That's about faith. So I think my faith is strong, but what believe in the future um, between me and you and the gatepost, I don't know. I ain't got a clue. And I don't know what's happening, but it's just faith. I've got a belief, and that's what I like to do. Do you have a faith? Colin?
I would say that I'm not an atheist, but I'm
Right.
also I wouldn't declare myself as a believer of any one particular religion. I would say that if you were going to classify my faith, it would be more of an animist. I believe
Right.
in
Okay.
a spiritual presence that connects us to the earth and to everything around us. But from a monotheistic God perspective, and I trained as a Baptist minister.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah, when I was younger.
All right.
I found myself becoming a little disheartened with some of the issues that were taking place in the church as a mass religious power structure, and so I found there was an incredible book that I read called Ishmael that really changed my life. And as soon as I read that, it kind of moved me along down this path of spirituality rather than religious faith.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay. We all got beliefs, and
Yep.
sometimes we can go to training, be a minister, and next minute, we can lose the faith and everything. What else is there? Oh, here we go. Hi Warren. Whereabouts are you? You seem to be with your voice, like Canada, Toronto area.
A
Where are you?
little further west. I'm out on an island called Vancouver Island in British Columbia, so on the very west side of Canada.
Yeah, you won't be able to go and see him, guys, because you've got to get a boat and you've got to row out onto the island. There's only two. It's his island only, and it's
no,
well charged.
there's about 1 million of us on this island, so it's
Yeah.
not a small island.
Don't believe it, guys. Don't believe it, guys. It's a small island, and he's got guards. He's got his wife, right? And got a
Well,
knitting
my wife
club, and
is
they're all-
ex-military, so yeah.
yeah, and she's got a machine gun, so don't go there. Don't go there.
No machine
I'm
guns
only
in
joking.
Canada. No, only the military
No,
have
no,
machine
no,
guns.
no, that's it. No, I'm only joking. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
What else is it? You should write a book, Warren. Have you ever thought of that?
I have thought of it. My co-host for the podcast and I have considered taking some of our episodes and turning them into a book. I'm actually in the process of writing a book right now, but it doesn't have anything to do with parenting. It has to do with sales. So I'll let you know if I decide to produce a book on
I've got a message for you.
Sure.
Well, sales. Gosh, oh god, I hate salesmen. They ring you up, don't they? You know, thinking,
See, but you wouldn't
Yeah.
know that I'm a salesperson, would you?
No, I never thought it. I thought when I first met you, I thought you was a teacher, actually.
See, that's the skill of a really good salesperson, is to make it think like you're not being sold.
Yeah. So what do you sell?
Well, I spent 13 years in the financial industry in Canada, selling financial products to financial advisors, and for the last 3 and a bit years to the public. So I have a financial advisory business.
Right. Okay, you're a financial advisor, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so anybody, if you need a financial advisor, get on your boat and row over to Vancouver Island, and they'll sort your tax out here.
Yeah.
Marie, hi, Steve. Can you ask Warren, how many children does he have? And it seems like a noisy house where he is.
That's incredibly accurate. I have 3 kids, 3 daughters. They are 11, 9, and 7. 2 of them are at school today. One is homesick. But the noise that you're hearing are my dog barking at the neighbor's dogs, and the neighbor's dogs barking back. And yeah, it's a busy little household, but we love it here.
Right. Okay. What was this?
These are great questions.
Right. Yeah, I've got a set of questions here right now. This is going to be funny then. Right. So what you got to do? You got to ask. Yeah. Right. Okay. Here we go. Right. so what you got to do? You just got to ask a question, right?
Okay.
One question. Right. So if I go like chocolate or pudding, you've
Mhm.
got to pick something like that, right? So
Okay.
someone here said, right, what is your favorite meal?
Sushi.
Sushi. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good. Tried that one. Yeah. I love seafood, but sushi now.
Oh, you got to go to Japan, Steve. Food is incredible.
Japan, yes.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not a financial advisor like you. See? He's got millions of pounds behind him. Yeah, he's rich. You know, he goes to Japan nearly every week, right?
No, that is not true. Not true. I've been there
It is
once,
true,
and I
guys.
loved it.
It is true. It is true, right?
You're gonna get me in trouble.
He's got a yacht by his island, right? He's got a rowing boat. No, I'm not joking. And oh yeah, and is one of his customers are Donald Trump, you know. Yeah. Hi Steve. Can you tell me more about your shows on a Wednesday? Yeah. At the moment, we're only doing around about two or three shows at the moment, but this is the only one tonight. I love this. Keep on watching this every week. Is Warren a comedian? Because he's very funny in what he says. I I don't get you, but I'll ask you. Are you a comedian?
No, I'm not. I'm not a comedian, but I do like to laugh.
Right, you just like to laugh. There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Laughter's the
It,
best medicine.
that's the that's and that is the thing, isn't it? Because sometimes we laugh because we don't want the truth to come out, do we?
Do you
It's
think
like
so?
you being a
I don't know.
yeah,
I
because it's like you, a billionaire, right? Where you're living. So you're laughing again. You're laughing again. It's hiding the truth behind. And
Definitely not a billionaire.
He runs. He's got an helicopter pad on Vancouver Island. Everything. Everybody comes to him. No, I'm only joking. Right. Okay. Where we going? Last few questions, guys. Um, Financial advisor. What is a financial advisor? Good question. I'll let Warren.
Basically, somebody who puts together a financial plan for you and then helps you to implement it. So, whether that's protecting your family from the unexpected, so insurance, those sorts of things, or whether it's saving for the future, or whether it's structuring your situation so that you can keep most of your money and not have to give it away to the tax man. Whether it's protecting your kids from marital dissolution or that kind of stuff. It's strategy, essentially. It's financial strategy.
Yeah, yeah, and he does insurance as well. So make sure that you get your insurance sorted. I'm only just giving you the heads up, guys. Steve, you're very funny. I know you were going to come out with something again, but I know you stopped all the. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was luck. Um, Hi, Steve. What's it like in Vancouver Island? I've never been there. Honestly, I've been to Canada. I've been to Winnipeg. I've been to Toronto, but I've never ever been to Vancouver Island. I probably I'll ask Warren later on if he can send his jumbo jet over and we'll all go live over there. No, what is Vancouver Island like?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
Is it?
it's very it's a temperate rainforest, right? So we get a lot of rain through the winter. We have huge trees, so they're 200, 300 feet tall in some areas. The trees outside of my window here are probably 100 to 150 feet tall.
Oh,
It's really lush. It's So it's a really long north to south island, kind of like the UK. And it's flat on the east side, and then there's a ridge of mountains that go up the center and down to the ocean on the west side. And the west side is just the Pacific Ocean out all the way to Japan. And so it's very rugged. Like we get the mountains are very sharp, like high peaked, and it's just beautiful. It's an incredible place.
how far are you away from Japan then?
About a 12-hour flight.
12-hour flight.
Yeah.
Long way to get some sushi, isn't it?
It is, but it's worth it. It's worth it,
Yeah,
Steve.
but I bet
All
it
that,
is, yeah.
all the podcast money, you should go and take a flight to to Japan.
Funny, 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 funny. Yes, okay. Let's not even carry on with that one. Right, okay. That is. Oh, you're trying to get your own back now. Can I invest? I need a person, a financial advisor.
I'm only licensed in British Columbia, so
Well, British Columbia is British, isn't it?
it technically all of Canada is British, so we're still
Yeah.
under the Queen. We're a Commonwealth country, so
Well, there you go. So you can be my financial advisor because you still come under the Queen. Right. Okay. Hi, Steve. When's Warren on? Warren comes on at 7 o'clock every week. He does really shake really before he comes on. He's thinking, "Oh God, I've got to speak to that Steve again." Oh
I
God.
love it. I love it, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
It's the highlight of
Right.
my
Oh,
week.
I know. And it's a bad one. You know, you even when you finish this, you even go in your room, don't you? Hit your head against the wall, thinking, "I'm glad I ain't got to speak to him for another week." It's
No,
telling
I
that story.
actually, you know what? I actually go and I tell my wife how much fun I had every week
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's always a great conversation.
Yeah.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about every week, but I always
Got
enjoy it.
yeah, guys. You know, we used to have Warren on before, right? But decided to have a break, and I was in tears for a long time. I was. I said, Warren's left me. He's left me. Oh, you know. Then all of a sudden he appeared again out of the blue. Hello, okay. You know, he thinks he can come back and on and everything, get all the limelight and everything.
Well, it's been a
Financial
couple of
advice.
months now that I've been back every week. It's been
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
I love these
yeah.
questions. I love getting questions from your audience. That it is so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay. So last couple, right?
Okay.
These are very important. So, what's the biggest deal you ever done with being a financial financial advisor? That's kind of the topic of what we're talking about children, about the
Yeah.
future. Let's leave all that because sorry, it's my fault for bringing it up.
No, that's
Just
okay.
I wanted to have a. What I was trying to do was buy the time while I was waiting for the other questions coming in. So, um, do you want to answer? Do you want to answer that question or not? No.
I large, in the millions of dollars.
There you go. Millions of dollars. I told you tonight. Millions of dollars. He bought that bloody Vancouver Island. He did. Told you. Go contact him, right, and he will give you a free holiday. Oh yes, yes, Vancouver Island. Yeah. So what's it? So when are you opening your holiday resort then,
Holiday resort. No, no, no. That's too much work. I like to go to holiday resorts, not have them.
or B
You
and B in it? You got B and B there, ain't you?
no, no. My wife has talked about that. She would like to have something on the property for a B&B. We've talked about that for a long time, and that might be something
Yeah,
we do in the future. We
yeah.
like
I
meeting
think
people. We love meeting people.
yeah,
So
I think she was hoping that you would take the girls and go away for 12 months so she could do a B and B.
I think she'd like to keep the girls, but she'd like me to go away. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh right. Okay. Well, there you go. But she can't get rid of you. You're a financial advisor. You've got to look
That's
after the
right.
penny.
That's right.
But right, last question. Right. Hi, Steve. Just a quick question about being a financial advisor. Then I'll have to go. Okay. So, um, if Warren won, if someone, sorry, if somebody won 1.5 million pound on the lottery,
Hmm.
Warren, what would Warren advise for that person to do with the money? Ooh.
The total cop out answer that I have to give for that legally is it depends. Because it depends on everybody's personal situation, whether they have debts, whether they have kids, whether they have a spouse, whether they're looking after their parents, if there's potential legal ramifications, all these sorts of things. So my answer officially is it depends. And I know that is a huge cop out and not what you wanted to hear. Uh, but you should definitely speak to somebody who knows your personal situation.
That's a good
It's
question.
easier to give
But
blanket advice about kids than it is about finances.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But the trouble is, though, see, what he's not trying to tell you is this: that if you want to buy a house in, Vancouver Island,
Hmm.
go ahead, because it's lovely over there.
It is. It's
Um,
it's absolutely wonderful. I would suggest it, but you're going to pay $1 million for a house.
what?
Yeah, that's crazy here in British Columbia. It's nuts.
Oh, 1 million. See, $1 million. I told you guys, that's where the money is. In. He's got loads. Right. Okay.
I work
God, I
hard.
don't know.
We'll put it that way.
Thank you
I
very
work
much.
hard.
Yeah, I know. And Thank you, Warren, for being a laugh. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Right, guys,
Absolutely.
I am totally gone. I'm not going to have some tea, then I'm going to watch some TV. Have a good evening, all, and thank you very much for joining. And I'll tell you what, we'll be back again with Warren next week. If he hasn't aired against the wall or anything, he'll be okay. And next week, guys, next week, don't forget, you know, if you need a financial advisor, get in contact with her. And if you want a loan, a house, you know, it's floordads.com. I'm sure you'll be able to help you out. And if you get, oh yeah, and husbands, if you get kicked out, your wife get kicked out, get in contact with Warren. He will put you into his mansion. See you later, guys. Bye bye.
Thanks,
For
Steve.
now.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Right, see you later, guys. Have a good night. God bless. Take care. Adios, amigo. I am gone.